Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is January 5th, 2025. And here's a quick Sunday update for Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency market, as Bitcoin is close to our target, okay? Close to our minimum target of 100K, while altcoins, not all, but some, are on the verge of a massive breakout. I'm going to show you why and how that is happening, and I'm going to share 2 of my trades with you. So take profits and all that stuff. So if that sounds interesting to you, then watch until the very end. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's get started. Bitcoin. Okay, here's what we've been doing for the entirety of the weekend, side to side. Okay, last we spoke, I think it was Friday, right? Here's what happened, right? Pretty much, let's zoom in, pretty much constrained to this side to side channel. That's to be expected, right? Bitcoin was not likely to do anything of import over the weekend. It's unlikely that it does, right? Usually weekends are for sideways chop, wash trading as we call it, or sometimes dumping, covering CME gaps, stuff like that. So this is very, very common weekend price action. Now, what's also common is that the start of trading is pre-trading. I think 6:30, 7 p.m., something like that. It changes a bit depending on daylight savings time, but 6 or 7 p.m. New York time, the market opens, right? The US dollar currency index starts trading again. And remember, the market mover, what moves the cryptocurrency market, is the US dollar. If you don't believe that, look at it, pull up a chart of the US dollar currency index, superimpose a chart of Bitcoin for 12 years, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So once we get liquidity in the market for pre-trading, right, because the US dollar currency index is basically the US dollar pegged against a basket of world reserve currencies, and so whenever Australia or Japan wake up and they're starting their trading, right, it affects the US dollar currency index. Do expect a move then. Typically happens around 7:30 p.m., 8 p.m. on Sunday evening. That's when you get liquidity back in the market, and whatever moves were likely to happen in Bitcoin tend to happen. Again, our target is right here, not too far away. So we're almost there. We're just about 2% away, right? So somewhere in this box, I expect Bitcoin to stall out, okay? Lots of people don't see that. Lots of people are looking at Bitcoin on the higher time frame, let's go on the 4-hourly time frame, and they're seeing a massive bullish reversal pattern. They're seeing what to them looks like a massive cup and handle or inverse head and shoulders, and they're saying, oh, the minimum target is up here somewhere. I can see how you may believe that, but then again, you have to take things into context. Technical analysis is not just looking at patterns and then, making technical targets for those patterns. You have to look at the wider context. And the wider context, again, is Bitcoin came down from this high of 108K quite impulsively. Then it came up in what looks to be highly likely a B wave. So basically a side-to-side consolidation that retraced upon this move. So very likely what you're dealing with is an A, B, C zigzag, okay? More likely than not, you're dealing with a ABC zigzag correction where that B wave comes up to the 0.5 or 618 Fibonacci retracement level of that A wave. And so that's why I have my target between 100 and 102. As you can see, my purple box is in that golden pocket, as we call it, between the 0.5 and the 0.618. 0.5 represented by 100K, 0.618 represented by 102K. That is more likely than not. Everything's probabilistic when you're doing technical analysis. So we don't know, but more likely than not, this is where the buck stops. More likely than not, this 40-day resistance calls Bitcoin's bluff and says, nope, you're not getting through me. More likely than not, that's what happens. Bitcoin gets up here, goes sideways a bit, and then goes into the C wave. So that's what I'm seeing. So that is basically the story. That is what we're looking at. That's what we're tracking. And again, it's important to use Bitcoin as a proxy because whatever Bitcoin does, the rest of the market does. Bitcoin was going sideways all weekend. Guess what? Most altcoins went sideways all weekend. Mind-numbingly, frustratingly sideways, choppy, annoying. But once Bitcoin starts getting a little liquidity, then altcoins can start to move. We're going to talk about that in a second. Now, in the time that Bitcoin matriculates up into this box and then redistributes, i.e. consolidates to change direction to the downside, in that time, some altcoins are likely to move, and I'm going to show you which ones. No, not all of them. Some of them are already, like Bitcoin, close to their targets. Let me give you an example. I see online some people saying, Ethereum's about to pump. Ethereum's about to pump. No, it's not. Ethereum's not doing shit. Ethereum's like Bitcoin, almost at its technical target, right? We can see, like Bitcoin, Ethereum came down impulsively from its high of 4,000. Like Bitcoin, Ethereum consolidated in a choppy B-wave-like pattern. Like Bitcoin, Ethereum is likely to be constrained in this golden pocket right here. Now, I want to also show you, look at Ethereum. Look at this right here. This is a 4-hourly time frame. It's not a small time frame. Does that look bullish to you? If you have any chart hours, if you have an eye for what these charts look like, when I show you that, the first thing that jumps out at you is a bearish reversal pattern. That should be the first thing that jumps out at you. That does not look bullish, not in the least bit. So don't be surprised if Ethereum continues to do something like this and then eventually does that. That's why I said in the previous episode, not all altcoins are going to pump. I said some altcoins are going to pump. This isn't alt season where everything pumps. Not yet. Alt season's coming. More likely mid-January. We can expect some sort of alt season effect after a big correction, but not yet. So in the time being, like for instance, tonight, I don't expect much of anything else from a lot of these altcoins, which have already put in the lion's share of their C of B wave. So basically the impulsive portion of their B wave. Conversely, when you look at something like the DYDX or Lit, right? I've shared my Lit trade before. Let me show you something. This is, again, also probabilistic. We don't know. But there's a likelihood, a high likelihood, that this does play out. Again, the Lit trade is what? If you go on the weekly time frame, you can see everything at some point in time does play catch up. Everything at some point in time has its time. Okay? Lit didn't do much of anything, hasn't done much of anything from the bear market consolidation. Okay? It's still within that bear market consolidation range. So, what is going on? What's going on is that most of these altcoins are basically prepping themselves by reaching the top of their bear market consolidation. At the very least, the top of their bear market consolidation. Some have broken it and then are retesting it. So that's what you're looking at, a larger trade where a lot of these are going to, all these altcoins that have yet to break out of their bear market consolidations break out of their bear market consolidations. They're ready to, by the way, because why? Once you're in a consolidation, you can even think about breaking out of it once you tested the top and bottom a bunch of times and then tested the midline right before leaving it. Okay, so that's one thing. So if that does indeed happen, you're expecting them to leave their bear market consolidation in time for Bitcoin to dump and for them to dump and retest the top of their bear market consolidation, just like everything else. Again, if you look at the general theme of what's happening in the altcoin space, that's what's happening. You have bear market consolidations and breakouts of those bear market consolidations. I can show you a quick example. Let's look at Cardano. This is one such example where we've broken out of the bear market consolidation, still on the weekly time frame, okay? And again, here's the bear market declension, meaning the fall portion or the downwards portion of the bear market, right? Bear markets are constituted, in my opinion, I consider bear markets two parts. One, the down only part. This is the down only part. The second part is the sideways consolidation, following the down only part to prepare for the ensuing bull market. So Cardano went down sideways. Its bear market consolidation is here, okay? And this is the top of the bear market consolidation. And you would then be retesting the midline when Bitcoin dumps before actually going into your bull market. So that's a little different. It's not broken out of the bear market consolidation, but reached at least the top. So you at least have to reach the top. So when I'm scanning for potential pumps on a night like tonight, before Bitcoin dumps, I'm looking for assets that have yet to do that, right? So Litentry, once again, is a good example. And this is why I entered that trade, and that trade's still alive. It was sideways and doing nothing all weekend, but I do expect it to do something very soon, given what I've just said. At the very least, I'm expecting some sort of move to the top of the bear market consolidation or past the bear market consolidation so that we may retest it on a dump. Likewise, DYDX is another example. This is a DeFi play, good fundamentals. But if you look at it on a high time frame, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like you have a bear market consolidation, right? Bear market downwards, declension, then sideways for a few years. That's your bear market. Assets that do that are healthy to enter a bull market. Assets that don't have that, they're question mark. People have to realize that. You want things that have undergone a bear market so that you may, with a high degree of probability, anticipate a bull market. Anyway, midline of this channel, multi-year channel, broken out to the upside, retested the midline. Next move, probably a break of the channel. Then when Bitcoin dumps, it retests the top of the channel. Then it's prepared for the bull market. So this is the move I'm looking for between the time when Bitcoin dumps. Between the time when Bitcoin dumps. I'm looking at that. And so on the smaller time frames, let me show you what they look like. It's likely that we get some sort of pump. Okay, is it going to be 100% pump like that represents, that like that chart suggests? Because if you look at this chart, right, a move up in DYDX to this upper resistance, to this upper resistance is, the top of the bear market consolidation. That's like 100%. But considering it goes all the way up to this logical resistance up here, that's like 350%. Likewise, in Litentry, you look at the potential gains, breaking the channel to the upside. The top of the bear market consolidation is 100% away. Breaking the channel is, again, 400% away. So it's just probabilistically, these are high probability breakouts that you would want to take advantage of. And that's, I think, the best way to scan the market for these types of opportunities. Not to just assume all altcoins will pump because people on Twitter keep saying so. On the really small time frame, let's jump down into the 15-minute time frame. Look at DYDX. What did it do? Well, recently it put in a downward wedge, okay? A descending wedge is a classic reversal pattern, okay? That descending wedge consolidated a bunch, broke out, showing strength, retested, okay? So this is where you get the breakout if this retest holds. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm liking. And the timing is, again, where you're going into pre-market trading Sunday evening, where you're likely to get a move in Bitcoin, and that, I think, also gives you some liquidity for some of these altcoins to move. Similarly, if you look at Litecoin, you also have, albeit different wedge, but still a downward falling wedge, right? Which is a reversal pattern, and breaking out of that, retesting it, that is where your pump starts. So I like these two. There are more, but I don't have to trade a million things to be profitable. I like to just focus on a couple or a few things at once. And yeah, this is what the weekend gave for those assets. A bunch of sideways chop, just like what Bitcoin did. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking at. That's the update. If you look at Bitcoin dominance, let's look at that for a second and get out of here. So Bitcoin dominance basically is telling the same story. So Bitcoin dominance here is in a downtrend, okay? And that downtrend is like this on a smaller time frame. If you zoom in, what you see is an intra-wave correction, which is ready to break. Intra-wave correction meaning it's a correction, it's not a reversal pattern yet, but it's a correction intra-wave just like this. And then what follows is that this is where we get our pumps in the for some of those assets that have yet to pump. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing in the market. Guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope this was useful. Like, share, and subscribe. If you got value, consider tipping me by Venmo, Cash App, or by sending me Litecoin if you're international or you're not American. I know some of you, a lot of you are. And consider joining my crypto portfolio consultation service, 1 to 2 hours with me, one-on-one every month, going over up to 5 assets where I help you balance your portfolio, find good entries and exits, and basically help you be profitable in this coming bull market. So consider that. All that is in the pinned comment below. Guys, take care. Have a great Sunday, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow. Bye.